So Lynn, you started off as a visitor, as a client of Crickets, and now you're staff, and now you're working as a trainer.
That's right.
That's really amazing, and doing all sorts of great things. So there's all sorts of great things you can do at Crickets. Let's get into. I mean, so first off, Crickets is named after a special
Dog.
dog.
Yeah.
Cricket?
Cricket.
Was their name?
Yes.
The one
amazing.
from Saskatchewan.
Yep, the prairie dog from Saskatchewan, yeah.
Beautiful. So tell me more about Crickets. You said lots of property,
Yeah.
and you have the indoor gym and the
Yep.
outdoor
We have lots of outdoor fields too.
And
So
whereabouts is it located?
it's just 20 minutes down the Beachburg Road, so I'm only 20 minutes from Pembroke. And we have the full 100 acres as a path that walks right to the back, so people take their dogs off leash and walk straight to the back if they are so inclined. There's we have a little garden area. It's probably a half an acre of area there where we do that's fenced off for the dogs, so that you can turn your dog loose in there and let it run around.
That's
and
great.
Dogs love to be free, and a lot of dogs nowadays with our leash laws and things, they don't get the opportunity to be free, and it's nice for them to just be able to run and play and have a good time. And the owners too, like everybody's a little on the fluffy side, especially when you get older. That's not your water. And so, I mean, I noticed when I was getting fluffier that all I had to do was get out there and run the agility course. You don't realize you're running
You get an exercise out of
120
it.
yards and you're done, and you're like, you don't even
Nice.
realize, because you're having so much fun, you don't notice you're getting all this exercise.
Yeah.
So it's really great.
The dogs must love it so much, and let's get so much out of it.
They really do like it.
Yeah.
What are some of the dog sports you were talking about?
Oh, there's so many. I think we basically started out, when we first started teaching, we did basic behaviors. And then once you have that down pat, you can pretty much get into all of the different sports. So agility is probably the most well-known and the popular. That's the obstacle course.
Agility is the obstacle.
Yeah, it's
course. Okay.
120 yards of obstacles. They're usually between 10 and 15 feet apart. And it's a combination of the A-frame, which is 9 feet at the apex.
Sure.
And the dog runs up one side, and they have 2 yellow contact zones that they actually have to make going up and coming down. And then there's a 4-foot-high dog walk. There's a teeter-totter that when they go up the incline, they have to wait for it to touch and then run down the other side.
Neat.
So there is some training involved. And of course, the most amazing thing that everybody loves is the weave poles. We put poles, a minimum of 12, 2 feet apart, and the dogs weave through them.
Wow.
It looks so cool when they
It
do it. They
does.
just snake their way through. And we have a system that is unique to Crickets for a lot of the dog training. The dogs want to do the behaviors. With my social science background, I'm using classical and operant conditioning to train dogs. So basically, it's a food-based reward system.
Oh, good.
So you ask the dog, you don't ever tell it, you ask it, and when it does the correct behavior, you mark it with either a clicker or your voice. We just say yes, and then it knows it as soon as you say yes, that it's going to get that food treat. So it understands that this is a system, you do what I like, I give you something in return. So it's called the Premack principle, basically, in psychology, so that, you know, you can't have any dessert until you eat your main meal. It's kind of the same idea. You would really like a drink of that water, wouldn't you? Well, I don't think Kojko will mind.
Now, I imagine every dog is different, but how long does it take usually to get a dog to be at that point of well-trained and...
Do you know Lynn is getting really good at this? It's amazing. People come out and they think it's going to take a really long time to train the dog. It's not very long to train the dog at our. The harder people to train are the owners to train the dog. Because each of us have our own set of rules of the household of what we'll tolerate from the dog, and some people tolerate more than others. I always say the more rules you have, the better off you're going to be. Because if you have lots of ground rules, then nobody gets annoyed with the dog. So many pets are rehomed over silly basic behavior problems, like, you know, chewing or digging, and they're so easily overcome with the proper training.